Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to My Meaningful Life. My name is Michelle, and this is My Meaningful Life. I'm a single woman who has lost 21 pounds doing meal prepping, and I wanted to share my journey with you. First, I'm going to make my Pico De Gallo. Now, y'all know that I make this every single week because I absolutely adore spicy foods. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dice up some jalapenos. Now, I'm wearing gloves here because I don't like having the spicy stuff all over my hands for a safety issue. I don't want to have to worry about accidentally rubbing my eyes with my hands. So I take an extra precaution and dice up the jalapenos with some gloves. I also diced up some tomatoes, onions, and mini peppers. What you don't see here, and I apologize for that, is I do dice up and mince up some cilantro, and then I put some lemon juice into the Pico de Gallo. I somehow lost the footage of the lemon and the cilantro, but that's what finishes everything out. The next recipe I'm going to share with you is going to go in a couple of recipes. This one's going to be my Crock Pot Beans. I love cooking beans in the crock pot. It saves so much time. All you have to do is do it the night before, and by morning your kitchen is smelling wonderful. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to put a bag of beans in the crock pot. I'm going to put about 8 cups of water in there. I'm going to put garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, Italian seasoning, cayenne pepper, and chili powder. Now I realize now that I did not plug in my crock pot when I turned it on. Then I turned it on and left it on overnight, and that's the results. But now with the coronavirus going around, I would definitely suggest grabbing some beans and doing this because beans are a staple food. If you can't get anything else, just get beans and rice and tortillas and a little bit of cheese, and you got bean, rice, and cheese burritos. But that's just one thing to do. With beans, you can use beans to just about anything if you're creative. A big thank you to easyhealthyliving.com, not sponsored. I found a low-carb Chile Relleno Casserole from them. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. I did this in a little bit of a different order than they suggest, but what I did was I went ahead and chopped up the onions and set them aside, and I cooked the ground beef and then added the onion to the ground beef as it was cooking. You want to make sure that it's fully cooked and no longer pink. I line a 8 by 11 baking dish with tin foil because it's easy cleanup and I don't have to worry about it later. The next thing I'm going to do is layer the Ortega chilies on the bottom of the pan. Then I'm going to add the ground beef mixture. Then I'm going to add the cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want, but you can even use the cheese that's recommended. But I personally had the Mexican cheese on hand, and I just used that. I used 2 cups. It says 1 cup of cheese. I used 2 cups because I love cheese. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk together the 2 eggs, 3/4 of a cup of milk. I used almond milk, but you can use whatever milk you want. 2 tablespoons of flour, 3/4 of a teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. After it's fully whisked with no clumps, I've poured that over the casserole evenly. And then I baked in the oven for 20 minutes or until the mixture is set and the cheese is golden and bubbly. You can serve this immediately or you can put it into meal prep containers. I personally put it into meal prep containers and served it individually. This turned out beautifully. Okay, so the last recipe I'm going to show you is a chicken tortilla soup. I didn't add the tortillas in this, but you can add them afterwards. I started out with about a half this big can of chicken broth, and then I added about 8 cups of water. Now I added way too much water, so I would recommend putting in about 4 to 6 cups depending on how deep your pot is. Then I'm going to add 3 cups of those beans that we cooked earlier, 3 cups of corn, 3 cups of diced mini peppers, about a cup of diced jalapenos, 2 chicken thighs with the bone on, skin on, and the same seasoning we used with the beans. You want to use garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, chili powder, cayenne, and Italian seasonings. I cooked it on low for about a couple hours. If you want to do it right away for dinner, I would suggest putting it on a high, and you can cook it until the chicken is cooked through. After the chicken is cut through, and I don't know what happened to this part, but after the chicken is cut through, you take the chicken out and you take off the skin and you take the chicken off the bone. Now, the chicken should automatically come off the bone. And then you just either dice it up or shred it up, whichever you choose. I shredded this up. My friend actually tried this. She adored it, but she suggested that it's probably would be better with it diced instead of shredded. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoy this week of meal prepping. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and like this video if you actually enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe if you want to enjoy more videos from me. Hit the bell icon down below so you're notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you for watching. My name is Michelle, and this is My Meaningful Life. Have a great week.